Monday, Marcellus Wiley here. Won't lie, I don't think I'm winning right now.
You're not winning Swag Wars, sir, but I left you an opening.
You left me an opening. Emmanuel Acho, who needs to turn around to really win this.
You got to see the best. That's the details, sir. The devil, sir, is in the details.
Carnations all around. I like that. All right, let's get it started with two of the best quarterbacks ever, Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. They'll square off for only the third time in their careers Sunday on Fox. Rodgers is off to a hot start this season, 13 touchdown passes, no interceptions for the undefeated Packers. On the other hand, Brady is coming off a loss to the Bears where he appeared to lose track of what down it was on the final drive. So, Acho, which quarterback has more to play for this weekend, Aaron Rodgers or the GOAT, Tom Brady?
It's a tough one, but for me, it is Aaron Rodgers. He has more to play for because he has more expectations. You'll hear this a lot from me today. You've heard it from me before. Expectations minus reality equals disappointment. You hear that from me a lot. Right now, Aaron Rodgers has to play for, number one, individual expectations. Trying to win an MVP. He's trying to stay pace for pace with Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson has 19 passing touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers only has 13. Number two, Aaron Rodgers collectively as a team, Packers have more to play for. The Buccaneers realize this. They're not getting the one bye that is up for grabs in the playoffs right now. They're not getting that right now. They just know that based on the difficulty remaining in their division with the Saints getting better and the fact that they already have a couple losses and the Packers have none. Realistically speaking, they're not getting that joint.
Realistically,
The Packers still are playing for the one bye up for grabs. I think it's going to be a two-headed race between Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. But really, I'm looking at it like this. You and I had a debate just 2 days ago about Aaron Rodgers. He's more talented than Tom Brady.
He's better.
But he's not more dominant. Aaron Rodgers has never been dominant in the NFL because he hasn't had the opportunities to do so as far as captivating Super Bowl after Super Bowl, even getting there. He hasn't even got there but one time. Aaron Rodgers hasn't proved his dominance. He's proven his ability, but he hasn't proven his dominance as it pertains to being in conversations with the likes of Tom Brady. He can prove this coming Sunday that he is as dominant when facing someone who has been for so long dominant.
Disagree. And I don't understand why I'm disagreeing with something we should agree on. It's Tom Brady in this situation. Tom Brady is the guy that everyone walks up to and say, you know what? You've been the man for so long. It's time for me to show you some respect. Let my ego go. Let this veil down and give you your flowers. Here's your flowers, brother. And then as soon as they hand him his flowers, they step on them. They say, nobody giving you your flowers because what have you done for me lately? It's amazing how we take that phrasing right there and apply it and misuse it to Tom Brady, the GOAT. We forget about all the equity that he had in New England. We forget about all the greatness to a point where Emmanuel Acho weekly comes up here hypercritical of the GOAT. You don't give him love, and I'm really astounded that you're disagreeing with me because he suffers from the same thing you suffer from.
What's that?
People don't give you your flowers. I do. People don't give you your respect. I do. But you and Tom Brady both suffer from ageism in a different respect. Tom Brady too damn old to be playing this well, so people always want to look at him side-eye and not give him his flowers. You're so damn young and you're here so fast, people don't want to give you your respect. Oh, I read your Twitter timeline too. They be on your head sometimes. So here's the point. If I'm Tom Brady, I'm like, can I remind y'all, I was player of the week in week 4. Oh, you forgot, because you want to just talk about the Bears loss. Week 4, oh, I was the guy. Not 1, 2, 3, 4, I forgot 4th down. Player of the week, week 4. 9 touchdowns and 1 interception in the last 3 weeks. But somehow, some way, there's a perception out there that Tom Brady is not playing of standard, that whether that's a GOAT standard or a great quarterback standard, it just seems like he's not getting his fair due.
That's fair, Marcellus. You won the first round off comedy alone. Off comedy alone, no substance, straight filler. You won the first round off comedy. But let me say this. When you think about great quarterbacks and you think about great quarterback duels, Aaron Rodgers has never had that. You had Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. Right now you have Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. Before you had Brett Favre and you had Troy Aikman. But Aaron Rodgers has never been able to be a part of a duel. Number one, the NFC North has sucked. Matthew Stafford hasn't ever really won. He's been great individually, hasn't won as a collective team. The Bears, Jay Cutler, Matt Trubisky. The Vikings, Teddy Bridgewater, Kirk Cousins, Case Keenum. What's going on there? Aaron Rodgers has never been able to prove head-to-head in quarterback duels he can dominate. he has the chance to do that on Sunday. That's why, for me, he can really esteem and establish himself as, wait a second, when I went up against greatness, I too was great. 1-1 versus Tom Brady in his career. He has the opportunity to take that lead. It might not matter now, but when we look back at Aaron Rodgers' career, we'll be able to be like, oh, wait, when he went head-to-head against Tom Brady, he did better. Here's the other thing. 63 quarterbacks have been to one Super Bowl. That's a litany of them, like Aaron Rodgers. He needs to separate himself in that notch. You can make that line of delineation again starting Sunday. You can't win the Super Bowl on Sunday. That's not what I'm saying. But you can say this, we're here to stay. And Marcellus, every week you and I come on this show, and we don't realize who are great NFL teams yet. Every week we do this. It changes. Because we're like, man, the Steelers have only beat X, Y, and Z. They all sorry. Yeah. The Ravens have only beat X, Y, and Z. We don't know who's good in the NFL yet. But what we know is this. The Buccaneers are at least above average. They're top 10.
Definitely.
If the Packers smack the Bucs around, if Rodgers smacks Tom Brady and company around, they can show that they are the cream of the crop. They're not to be played with. They're not to be fooled with. You can look at the Packers and say, man, who have they really beat? Vikings are sorry. Lions are always sorry. Falcons are winless. Yeah, they beat the Saints without Michael Thomas. Like, who have they really beat? But if they beat when and if they beat the Buccaneers.
No, don't clean it up.
When and if they beat the Buccaneers.
All right.
Then they can say, we legit.
No, man. Look, you said don't play and don't fool around with certain things, and you just played around and fooled with Tom Brady's greatness, including his contributions to this winning culture right now in Tampa Bay. You know what Tom Brady is suffering from outside of ageism?
What's that?
You ever seen somebody transfer schools? I did this one time. You transfer schools when I was a youngster, and you transfer to the new school, and you walk in there, and sometimes your reputation precedes you. But everyone is still looking at you like, okay, is he smart? I heard he was. Well, we'll see what he gets on his first test, right? But before that process even starts, you know what's funny? Not all of your grades and all of your classes transfer over to the new school. So you lose the equity that you know you possess, but they're like, did you take Chem 1 or Chem 2? Because if you took Chem 1, we're not taking that here. You're like, what? What happened? Tom Brady lost equity just in transition to a new place. It's amazing. He put on a different uniform. Everybody's like, he ain't no one. He's sorry. He's not the GOAT. It's still Tom Brady. His numbers support it, but his perception doesn't. And I'm really amazed that you, an astute football analyst who looks at the game beyond what's on the back of your jersey,
absolutely,
still doesn't see that Tom Brady is one of the engines for this team's success.
I'm intrigued by a couple things. Number one, Marcellus, if you transfer schools, people are worried more about your academic prowess and like, oh, is this dude a beast on the football field?
Oh, well,
I heard he was.
I went to Columbia.
I'm confused.
I'm a student athlete. I don't know about you.
I was an athlete student, right? My coaches would say this. What would they say? They would say school first, sports second, right? Like that's what I would get.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
No, I think that Tom Brady, Marcellus, it's not that he suffers from ageism. He suffers from athletic deterioration.
Of what? He was never an athlete.
But his arm dictated his athleticism. His arm is deteriorating. He's statistically deteriorating. This season, yes, some stats are inflated because of Bruce Arians. Good. Kudos. I'll give him his flowers there.
I was about to say.
The real issue at hand is very simple. Tom Brady doesn't have a lot to play for because the expectations aren't there. You've been giving Tom Brady a pass since day one. Since day one, you said it's his first year coaching. They need to mesh. Give them time. Give them time. Packers were 13-3 last year in the NFC Championship game. They don't have more time. People aren't looking at the Packers with excuses. It's not Matt LaFleur's first year with Aaron Rodgers. It's surely not Aaron Rodgers' first year in Green Bay. If the Packers lose, what's your excuse? But you will come up here on Monday if the Bucs lose, and you'll be like, man, I mean, you know, the Bucs are still getting better. Chris Godwin, he's been out the last couple weeks. Mike Evans. You will come up here and make excuses like you always have for Tom Brady.
I can't do that. Who was the most hyped team this offseason? Green Bay Packers.
Cowboys. Bucs and Cowboys.
Green Bay Packers? No.
Bucs and Cowboys.
Anybody said Green Bay Packers? Nobody, including you, Acho. It was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Then you bring that hype, and that hype came in championship form, not like in Dallas Cowboys form, like, oh, they're going to be good this year. We'll see where they go. No, this was the cherry on top. Tom Brady, winning culture, all of the pieces coming with him, veterans saying, I'm just going to play there, trades occurring, guys coming off the streets just to say, I want to play with you, Tom Brady. Those were the expectations. So then Tom Brady shows up and actually gets things rolling. He's lost 2 games. They go out there, which they're going to do, and beat the Green Bay Packers. They have lost 1 more game than the Green Bay Packers.
Was that a guarantee, sir?
That's a guarantee. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to beat the Green Bay Packers. And then I don't know what you're going to say. I don't know what can you say for a team right now that you're saying everything's going perfect. The quarterback's 13 touchdowns, no interceptions, go Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, undefeated team. They lose 1 game to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs sit there and say, we've lost 1 more game than them, and everyone was loving them. We lost our first game with no continuity from our last year to this year. Different quarterback in a different situation. So guess what?
What?
You're 1 game behind the team that everyone thinks is the best team, and you only lost 1 more game to the team that has won your division 3 straight years.
Sir,
what are you talking about?
You truly believe the Packers, the Bucs will beat the Packers?
Yeah.
We have to put a friendly wager on this, sir.
What you want to do?
You have to read every tease on Monday.
Oh.
You got to go to commercial every time when they lose.
All right. Well, shoes. Coming up at the top of the hour. I'm mad at myself. It's time for Tom Brady. All right, let's get off there. Andy Dalton's show is time in Dallas. We'll tell you if he'll make the Cowboys forget about Dak Prescott on Monday night. But first, Ty Lue turned down a reunion. Coaching LeBron James last offseason is now in charge of my Clippers. We'll tell you which job has higher stakes next. Speak for yourself, presented by Hyundai. Boy, you got me